Okay, live with DM Office Hours on Twitch and preparing tonight's adventure. Our adventure is going to happen in just a few hours. And as some of you know, we've been taking suggestions from the audience, from people that have been viewing, and I have some of those here, which is pretty fun, pretty exciting. So for episode 10, we basically structure the survey in a very similar way to the One-Page One-Shot Toolkit. And so people sent in a lot of their kind of votes. Main focus, location or plot. So that caught me kind of thinking about a plot or a set of circumstances in a particular location. What kind of focus should it be? Mysterious. So mysterious or like a mystery type thing. And overwhelmingly, they wanted a town setting, which is interesting because we've been talking on our Discord channel a bit about adventures and encounters in cities and how to make those work. Do check out our Discord channel if you want to come and chat with us in real time about any of this. So something in the city, kind of a mystery. People put, mystery and investigation, fun and awe-inspiring. This was cool. The roots of trunks of trees are being cursed and weakened by a monster. The trees suddenly fall and crash on people. That kind of got me thinking about, things running amok in a town. A haunted library, that also got me thinking about some stuff that we'll talk about later. So I did some real basic scribble notes, and I'm going to kind of transcribe those as we go and show you my thinking about how I got to these notes. The kind of mission, a destroy or a defend mission. Okay, so maybe destroy something, maybe defend something. Kind of perils or rewards, like faith being tested and a personal investment. Religious politics and godly gratitude. The ability to enter or exit a town. That one caught my attention, and I went, okay, well, what if one of our characters has dimension door. It's like they can kind of go wherever they want, but what if the town itself was in a way kind of being held to ransom? Cursed tomes, almost a shadow crossing in the library. People become undead, and there's golems and all kinds of cool stuff. Complete magical silence in the library. Can they survive? That's a great one. So that was, I think that was Potato Pandas. I think we may save that for another time, but stick around. A lot of this flavor kind of is definitely seeped into this episode too. People definitely want combat. Well, it's got to be combat. Like everybody loves combat pretty much. Exploration, investigation, monsters, and social skills kind of came through next. So great. We'll throw in all of that. One of the major something appears in an unexpected place or something unexpected appears was kind of the major twist people wanted. I'm actually going to kind of lead out with that. So I'll show you what caught my imagination the most. It's here. It's in all caps. Someone said, or maybe Urki's past returns, or the player characters kind of, just evolve. And then someone just wrote in all caps here, Angry Bridge. And I just went, yeah, okay. All right, that's our story. That's at least the starting point of our story. So Angry Bridge is going to feature prominently. The person said, give me no shout out. Angry Bridge is its own reward. So that's hilarious and awesome. James, you also pitched in some great ideas. And Potato Pandas, thank you also for pitching in great ideas. Much appreciated. And so what do we got now? Well, here's what I started to come up with. For the noun, Angry Bridge. Angry Bridge, baby, for the win. Angry Bridge is an awakened bridge over the west gate, over the west gate at Mirabar, and is stopping traffic. So Angry Bridge is alive, and Angry Bridge is angry, and ain't nobody can get over Angry Bridge. And this is a big problem in Mirabar. So I chose Mirabar because they're traveling north, and it's part of this other story. It could be any major city. Most of them have bridges, or a lot of them do anyway. Waterways are a big part of people out get around in the Forgotten Realms. But that cuts off all their trade with Luskan and their main kind of port town where they ship stuff out. So super big deal for the town of Mirabar that this Angry Bridge is stopping people crossing it. So the setting is, as I said, in Mirabar. Music change. Very spooky. Mirabar is kind of a chilly city, chilly mining city. I did a huge campaign in Mirabar one time. It was Storm King's Thunder, and there were like 3 sentences on Mirabar, but we played like a dozen sessions. So I have this whole kind of Mirabar in my mind, as it were. It's prosperous, but great wealth disparity. beggars on the street. Group of activists that call themselves the Gauntlets of the Poor have been setting fire to Riverside warehouses. Okay, so there's a lot of wealth disparity in Mirabar. It's a really prosperous mining city on the outside, but actually there's a lot of problems under the surface. Their mission is given by the Marchion of Mirabar. So this is a character I already created. He's a tiefling with a French accent. You're going to get to hear me do a really bad French accent a little bit later. Wants you to investigate the awakened bridge. There is also a broom and a well, reverse it, make it go away, make it stop, restore the city to its prosperity. Rewards and perils. Okay, so this is where my thinking had to evolve a little more first before I could kind of figure out what the rewards and perils were. But everyone said combat, so we definitely got to have some combat in there somehow. Some investigation, magic items. So the awakening of the bridge, I chose. A lot of people know I'm not big on homebrew because I think there's a real potential for breakage, right? These core rules have been so tested and tested and tested, but I love reskinning. So in this case, I don't feel bad about I never feel bad about creating an item that can cast a spell once a day, a particular spell once a day. So in this case, a wand that can cast Awaken, which is typically like a druid spell, but can cast Awaken on objects. So Awaken is normally plants or animals. This thing can awaken objects once a day. All right, so once a day you get to cast it. It's like it's not a very high level spell, so it's not super outside the realm of possibility that you can just change the target of the spell or the target class a little bit. I feel okay about that. Definitely we want to have some monsters in here. I mean, in a way, these awakened creatures are. Definitely we're going to have some social skills going on in the investigation of all this. So the secret of the twist, I've been thinking about this, and I was like, who's causing this? Now, the obvious thing would be something nefarious, right? Someone awakened this bridge as an act of malice of some kind. I'm thinking there's this wizard, halfling wizard, and he's got this cool wand of awakening, but he sleepwalks. He's a sleepwalker. He's been sleepwalking around the town. He's been awakening stuff. The broom goes around smacking people. The well spits up water at people when they try and drop the bucket. So this guy, I called him Ribaldo. Ribaldo the halfling wizard. And he's going to be an archmage. Stat block, so he's very powerful. Has been sleepwalking. With his wand of awakening. And now here's the other twist, that it is in fact an act of malice. So I'm calling him Rasmus, the mage. Has been using suggest to get him to do so on behalf of the gauntlets to raise havoc, right? So the gauntlets are in fact a kind of terrorist group trying to agitate for equality and justice for the people, and are not above attacking or causing havoc with inanimate objects. So Rasmus the Mage has been sneaking into Ribaldo's library, right? So haunted library went, yeah, cool. Rather than haunted, I think his library is going to be full of animated objects, right? And there's some great animated object stat blocks already in the monster manual. So I'm like, okay, this thing is starting to come together. So Rasmus has been sneaking in, casting suggest while he's asleep. He gets disadvantage on his savings throws. So even though he's only a mage and the other guy's an archmage, he ends up being, getting the suggestion in his sleep while he's sleepwalking to go and animate different objects around the town. Structure for this, I'm thinking 1 act, 3 rooms. So opening act, got to be Angry Bridge, got to lead off with it. Already got my little kind of Angry Bridge voice, I'm Angry Bridge and I'm angry, and just go with it. I kind of was thinking of the giant in Adventure Time, where's my big money? So I'm going to go with that voice. And opening scene, so the hook is that the Martian is asking them to investigate. That's the kind of mission. The opening scene, they're going to see a smashed cart, passed by a smashed cart on the road, on the roadside. Then see a small child flying through the air as though catapulted, and in the distance, I'm Angry Bridge. A little bit crack stuntman as well. I'm Angry Bridge and I'm angry. That's his catchphrase. He's going to be that's his main response. He's angry because he's suddenly awakened and he realizes people are stepping on him. He doesn't like that. Anybody that lands on the bridge just goes catapulting. So I'm going to give one of the characters dex save after the break to catch the child. Then a goat is going to get catapulted, right? So something high stakes and then something maybe lower stakes. Just a goat gets catapulted. So the main act 1 is investigation, interaction with Angry Bridge. Investigation, the broom or the well, run-in with the gauntlets, rumors around town, Ribaldo hasn't been seen, is the powerful mage in the city, hasn't been seen for many days. His library tower stands empty and the door is open. So anyway, that's like, hey, pretty obvious. The place to go is to check out what Ribaldo may be up to. They may want to stake the place out. One of the twists, or one of the clues, is it only happens at night. That's going to be a big clue to drop somewhere, somehow. So maybe they stake the place out, they see him sleepwalking, maybe, all kinds of things could happen. But main idea is hopefully they will actually go to Ribaldo's library. Because as soon as they do, they're going to see animated objects in Ribaldo's library. And they're hopefully going to get the idea that this guy's been doing it. Little do they know, this guy's kind of innocent. He hasn't been doing it maliciously, but he's been a pawn in the game of the gauntlets. So key things in Act 1, introduce the gauntlets, make sure it's clear who they are and what they're up to. Introduce the idea that Ribaldo's a powerful mage. Have fun with Angry Bridge, and potentially with the broom and the well if they want to do that. So Act 1 could be, could take a little while. The rooms in Ribaldo's library. We're just going to do just pretty much got to be a straight railroad, guys, because there's not a lot of. Although actually, let's make it a V shape so that they could go to one room or another. The opening room, the main room, is going to have the books on shelves and 2 exits filled with 2 rugs of smothering, tapestries where the horses and people depicted talk. So they're going to talk back to these people. We have a couple of battle scenes, classic kind of tapestries, and 2 flying swords. Very low challenge rating, but they're made of adamantine. That is because in one of the rooms I'm going to throw a clay golem in there, and our barbarian doesn't have any magic weapon yet or any adamantine, and it just feels mean to pit him against something that is completely immune to non-magical piercing, slashing, and bludgeoning damage. So when they're defeated, that can be used. They can be used when they're defeated, right? So that means that they could potentially pick these things up and use them as magic items against the golems. So room A, room B, here let's have a bunch of like potions and stuff like that, and a clay golem, and that's off to the right. And off to the left is C, Ribaldo's bedroom. Maybe awake, asleep, depending. Maybe gone. Rasmus is disguised as him. That's how he got past the Guardians. Maybe hiding. Ribaldo will have the wand. If not, it's in a box of some kind, right? The Wand of Awakening. So the rewards and perils, this is not a super easy mission, and I want to entice the players. So the perils are the awakened objects themselves, golems, and the gauntlets, who could get feisty, could have some thugs or veteran stat block type characters come in and potentially remonstrate with the players. I'm on offer 1,200 gold pieces for completing the mission, and 1 minor magic item from the Marchion's collection. 1,200 gold pieces and 1 minor magic item should be a pretty nice incentive for these guys. And then let's talk timing. I think this is probably, so we're looking at the clay golem could be a big fight. That could be a 45-minute fight. This is going to be no more than 30 minutes. They're going to dispatch of these things pretty quickly unless those Rogues of Smothering really get going, those tapestries, which could be pretty fun. Baldo's bedroom, 30 minutes probably max to kind of the denouement of wrapping all that up. So Act 1 could be, let's see, we're already at 1 hour and 45. It's probably another 45, I'm guessing. So that's 2.5 total hours of playtime, although very likely they won't go into the golem's lair. Well, not very likely. There's a 50-50, and possible the clay golem attack won't last so long. Excessive noise will summon Ribaldo or Rasmus in this area, so that potentially they can rush in and you can figure out what on earth is going on. I think the real draw of this is going to be Angry Bridge and the Broom in the Well. I think that's going to be the most kind of fun. Yeah, we'll see how it goes from there. I'm gonna drop this on them later today. Tune in on Friday, and we'll see how it goes.